On this episode of Standard Power Creeps Way Faster Than G, we have some insane levels of Nova Grappler support. So as you know, we are now in the weekly stream reveals getting the cards from the Infinity set. So that is, I guess, the first set from the new Shin arc from the V-Series. We are starting off with Nova Grappler, and if these cards are setting the tone for the power level of the set, and knowing that generally the best cards are revealed last, wow. These cards alone are just so good already. Knowing that other stuff we're gonna be seeing may be even better. Okay. So, we first of all have this triple rare Fusing Striker. Continuance on V and R, the power increase of front trigger effects revealed for your drive check get plus 5k. The big question is, does this stack? If you have two of this, do you get 20k power? I don't know. We will probably get some ruling, extra info on that later. But for now, that skill by itself is really strong already. Because previously, sure, you may want to run some crits and so forth, but these new Nova cards just scale so insanely hard with front triggers, it's not even funny. But that's not all. Of course, it's a triple rare, so it has to have way too many good skills. So we have auto on V or R. When placed, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 Fighting Fist Dragon God Hand Dragon from among them and put it into your hand, shuffle your deck. If you put a card into your hand, discard a card from your hand. It's just an extra check top 5 to look for an important card. If you don't hit it, cool, this card is still nuts. If you do hit it, even better. Then we also have a common. Of course, they can't be showing us all the high rarity stuff at once. Grit Bangle. When placed, you may reveal a front trigger from your hand and put it on the top of your deck. This is a common. Nova Grappler gets their own Tetramagus. And it is a common. Oh, it doesn't draw, sure, but it doesn't cost Counterblast either, and it's in a clan that is not supposed to stack at all. And since other cards in these reveals stack so damn well with front triggers, that is just nuts. Like, this card essentially says, discard one card, I am a Shirayuki. That's what the card does. Because Shirayuki decreases your opponent's Vanguard with 10k, but this card increases your whole front row with 10k by putting a front on top. So that's what this card does. It's a free Shirayuki. It's just way too strong for a common. But we're not done. This card is another common. It's a grade 2. When your drive check reveals a front trigger, you may stand this unit. Because of course, front triggers in this deck aren't strong enough already. We also need to turn them into stands. So the way I'm seeing it is fronts are becoming 15k or 20k if it stacks and so forth. You will use your Grid Bengal to stack fronts. You will put these gains X2, wow, what a weird name, on Excel circles. Swing with them first, and if your opponent gets defensives, it doesn't really matter. Because then, you're gonna check those stacked fronts, your gains will restand, and then you will give plus 15k or plus 20, depending on all this stuff, on top of that. But of course, we are not done. We've only seen one triple rare and a common. Now we have the VR as well. Fighting Fist Dragon God Hand Dragon. That is, by the way, the card that the triple rare looks for on the top 5. It's not a huge chance to hit it on top 5. I don't know the math. I would have to look it up. But it's just a bonus. Because what this card does is, the power increase of front triggers revealed for your drive check get plus 10,000. Oh. So not only does your grade 2 give you plus 5k, but the VR also gives you plus 10k. So front triggers are now 25k. And the question is, do the grade 2 stack? Because then it may be 30k. Why not, right? Check one trigger, 30k to the front row with Excel circles. This card, together with the grade 2, and knowing that you can stack with Grid Bengal, just gives you melody numbers. That's it, you're getting melody numbers. Defensive triggers, that's cute. But of course, that is not all. Because it also says, when it attacks, cost Counterblast 1 and discard a card from your hand. Until end of that battle, this unit gets Drive plus 1. And if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit gets Critical plus 1. Because of course, like, the one weakness about fronts is that you don't have more damage from a single attack. And that is balanced because the attacks are way bigger and so harder to guard. But we wouldn't want that, right? We at least want opponents to still need to PG this so that they also don't get this damn critical on top of that. Because these decks will be running 8 fronts, or maybe more. I don't know if that's like a possibility that they'll look into, but this deck will be running hella fronts. And if people know that, they will of course just no-guard Vanguards. But now that this Vanguard also gets a crit on top of that, that is a different story. We of course had to get rid of the one thing keeping this thing balanced. Now, I say that, obviously, with the assumption that we are getting even more cards in this set. But more importantly, with the power level of cards right now in mind. So it is possible that once this set drops, Nova doesn't top at all, because all the other clans in this set are even more busted. But we don't know that. So just looking at these cards, which is by the way a VR, a triple rare, but then 2 commons, these cards are just way too strong. And I'm not mad, like I'll just play whatever is the best deck from this set in Standard, that's it. So I'm not mad. If there is one clan in this set that just breaks the whole format, cool, I'll run it, it's just giving me better chances. But for the health and fun aspect, I'm not really a big fan of this. Now obviously we'll have to see what other cards come out, if Nova Grappler suddenly starts getting only trash on top of this, and then the other clans get insane stuff as well. Okay, we'll see how that turns out. But overall, this is just too much. Now, obviously, considering that Great Nature is getting support right after this, you know what? It's gonna be even stronger, so I'm pretty happy for that, you know. Now, this does show us one thing that we have been saying for so long. When the Premium Collection Strides were shown, people said, oh, this is way too strong, power creep, blah, blah, blah. But my argument before that, before we saw any of those strides, was that the grade 3s in Standard are creeping so fast that they will become better than strides really, really quickly. And without a Premium Collection, that would be true at this point. Like, why would you stride some of these older strides from before if you can get 20 or 25k front triggers plus crit plus drive? Like, there is no reason. So we just see this over and over and over again. So I feel like in 6 months or 12 months we are due for another Premium Collection so that those strides can power creep Standard VRs out yet again, because this is just insanity. Now, if you're a Nova Grappler main, this is obviously like really great news for you, and I'm very happy for you. But of course, we'll have to see what the other cards in this set do, because this set seems to be just so damn strong. That is all for today. Hope you found this interesting. If you did, please subscribe to Solemn Vanguard channel. Oh, and also, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. More importantly, if you still need cards from Phantasmal Steed Restoration, you can pre-order them at Claret Cards, link in the description, use the code SOLEMN to get 5% off. But I really, really want your thoughts on these cards, on this. Come on, like, people start complaining sometimes that, people complain too much about power creep. I'm fine with power creep. If a format doesn't rotate, you need to have power creep to keep the game interesting. But sometimes it's just very fast. And if you're gonna say, oh, gee, power creep too fast, then you should be going nuts over what we're seeing right now. Because this creeps faster than G, whether you like to admit that or not. Ciao.